Good morning, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to Pulaski County Fiscal Court. Pursuant to our governor's recent mandates, we are back to doing a close to the public meeting. However, we are live on Facebook, and we will have this archived on our webpage for you to view if you so choose. But as is customary, we like to open our meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance, and today I've asked Aaron Ross if he would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. If we all please stand.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Aaron. We are adequately social distance here, so we do wear our mask in and out of the courthouse, but I'm going to pull mine down during the meeting so I can speak and you can understand better. So go ahead and call this meeting to order. First item on the agenda is the approval of minutes from our previous meeting. We do have one change in item number 13, if you'll go there. We asked permission to contract with Crown Services to hire 3 part-time employees, but it should be to clean in county buildings. Let's just leave it at that because it's not just clerk's office that'll be cleaned, and they'll also be doing crowd control, I guess, and trying to make sure people are social distancing and following the guidelines. So that would be the change, would be in county buildings, not just county clerk's office.
Motion to approve with changes.
Second.
We have a motion by Strunk and a second by Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. In old business, we have the administrative code, the second reading. There have been a couple changes on page 127, I believe. Let's see. I think that's the page where it lists the salary schedules. Before it was kind of just a little confusing. They weren't all listed, but we have populated every category there. But basically before, if the salary didn't change from the one above to the ones below it, those were left blank, but we have just added those in. So that's one change. And then there was a change. Mark, do you remember where the one issue you had with the budget committee? Do you remember what page that was on? Anyway, there's the section where it talks about budget committees. It basically said that the committee shall be made up of the judge, the treasurer, and members of the court. We have changed that to say a combination of judge, treasurer, and members of the court not to exceed a quorum.
Well, I'm going to object to that
You know, that's,
because all the magistrates should have the opportunity to be in the budget committee. And I can't go with that.
we can have a
because
budget workshop, but a committee is appointed cannot exceed a quorum.
I disagree on that. I mean, you threw me out of the budget process this past year, and I refused to be.
I understand your objection, but, you know,
I
can't have a-
deserve to be in the budget committee, and what you did to me this past year was wrong.
Well, I disagree, but
So
But we
I
want to
can't
clear
pass
this
it,
up.
I can't pass it with that on there.
well, those are the changes.
The process was in the book that the budget committee consists of county judge, county treasurer, and members of the fiscal court. You went around that process last year.
I mean, we can't have a quorum when we have a
It
committee.
should be public. The public had the right to see what's going on with our budget.
When we have the budget workshop,
When we have less than a quorum, you can keep it private. You can't open it up to the public for comment or anything else. The public has the right to know what's going on with our budget.
I agree with you. When the committee comes together, if they want to have a budget workshop, that's where
We
it's an
didn't have
open
a
meeting.
budget workshop.
Well, that's up to
I think,
the budget
I think
committee.
it's wrong, and the people in this county has a right to know what's going on
I
with our
agree with you,
budget.
Mark, they do, they really do. And
So-
you keep saying that, but, and we try to.
Well,
try to be
when you
open.
change the rules, you're making it like you're hiding it.
Well, no, we're not hiding anything, it's just,
Well,
that's the way
you
the
did
rules.
last year.
That's the way the rules should have read, it's understood, you don't have a quorum. when
You did last year by changing the process of what this book says. If we don't go by this book, I mean, we don't go by this book. This book, we might as well not even approve.
And that's why we're fixing that.
Well, that is one place that I disagree with fixing. I believe every member of this court should have the opportunity to be on the budget committee. Plain and simple. So, that's where I stand on that. So I can't approve this with that writing in there.
Y'all have received a copy of your administrative code. What would be your pleasure with it?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Wilden, a second by Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Absolutely not.
Have a roll call vote, please, Alicia.
Turpin,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Wilden,
Yes.
Ranshaw,
Absolutely no.
Strunk.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item then would be our new business. We have a new time clock contract. We've been using a company for our time clock, and apparently the support is no longer available, so we have to change to another system. You all got that in front of you. Having questions, Ross Corder is the one that has put this together. He can answer any questions that you have about time clock contract.
Ross, do they have to use their thumb or something? Is it still the same way as it used to be? When they clock in and out?
It's the same company that we used before. What it is we have a server in-house now that we run the software on, and all the time clock stuff, all the devices that they use their fingers on to type in and out, clock in and out, are the same. What it is they've dropped support for the self-hosted of the software. So it has to switch to the web-based software.
Okay.
So, I mean, what we have now will continue running, but there's no more updates for it, there's no more support for it. If it dies, it's just dead. So,
Ross, I talked to you about this yesterday.
yeah,
Is this, and I present this to Joan also, on this invoice, it shows $10,113, but then we get a $7,200 discount for first year. Does that mean any future years is gonna be $10,000?
It could probably, it would be up for negotiation, am I allowed enough?
So do we, this is just a one-year contract, this is not automatically renewed, right?
Correct.
It is not. It's not automatically renewed.
Okay, so this is just for a one-year contract,
Correct.
okay.
And to answer your question, Mike, it is not a biometric.
Okay.
We had a lot of, of course, you were here, you remember when we did do the biometrics. We were having a lot of issues at the road department with the biometrics because of just issues with fingerprints, et cetera. So we had to change that issue, that part.
I remember that. That's why I asked that question. If
Yes.
it was like that or not.
Yes, no, it is a unique code to every employee. Now, of
They
course,
just punch in their code.
they punch in their code, yes.
we're not changing any of that. It's just
No. I know we had a lot of problem when we was doing the fingerprint deal to try to.
It was, and of course, we had an underlying reason to use that,
Yeah.
but it unfortunately was not feasible for some of our departments due to, circumstances beyond our control.
So now it's just they punch in their code and it clocks them.
Correct. And of course, they're not supposed to share their code.
Yeah, that's right.
So the only thing that's changing is the software will be hosted on a web server that they manage, they take care of, they keep it updated. It's not hosted here.
Yeah.
So we're just updating to the new system with the same company.
You'll still oversee that.
Yeah, it'll just be on a server in the cloud instead of a server here in the server room.
So with this, if nothing else changes, what will be the cost in year 2?
I think some of that 10,000 is some of the expense in changing from this system to that, because they got to copy all our past data, all our old data, clock punches, everything has to be moved to the new system.
So we won't be doing 10,000 every,
I think part of, if I have to look at
Every year.
the invoice again, but I believe part of that 10,000 was for the transform to the new system.
So, Martin, have you reviewed this contract?
I've not looked at it. Is it the same, it's the same basic contract, other than changing the monetary?
It is.
Right now, we're already paying them a contract fee or a service fee annual for maintaining and supporting what we have now. That's going away.
Yeah, I'm just
actually gone away.
I'm just concerned about year 2, 3, and 4, and 5 if it's an automatic renewal. So I would make a motion that we approve this contract for a 1-year term until we see new renewal costs.
And I understand, and that's a very, very good idea. But here is another issue that goes with that caveat is, let's say it does go to 10,000 next year. You cannot buy a new system for $10,000. So if it does go to $10,000, we're still a step ahead, because a time clock system of this caliber that we require due to the number of employees we have and what we need on it is not a cheap endeavor.
Well, we need to look at that a year from now and decide whether, if it's going to be $10,000, if we need to switch to a new company. Maybe there's a local company
But
out there that can
that's what I was
assist us.
saying, Mark.
This is an out-of-state company here.
Well, but that's what I was saying. If we want something cheap and, and probably not, it would probably even be local, it would probably just be a one-time thing, then we're just going to have to go back to the punch.
Well,
To the old-timey punch that,
all I'm saying is let's look at it a year from now and decide whether we need to change or
and
or
I
keep
don't,
it the same.
I agree with you. I don't mind to look at it a year from now. But number one, there are no local companies. We researched everything when we did this. And number two, startup cost.
I'm
is-
just saying, let's do a year contract and then look at it again in a year and see if there's, other than that, I don't want to spend $10,000 every year if we can save with another company or can negotiate a cheaper price with the current company.
And I agree, and we will negotiate, but I also don't want to get mad at a $10,000 price and have to start from square one for $30,000.
I think that's what this is. It's just your contract, isn't it?
It's just a year contract, right? It's not renewable, right?
Correct.
Okay.
so we have a motion. Did you get that motion, Alicia? Can you rephrase that motion so we can?
Yeah, just approve this motion or approve this invoice for 1-year service and then review it after a year for renewal.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Master Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Judge, while we're running new business, we have been, with new equipment, we have been pricing new equipment for our road department. and two companies on the state-approved vendor list. One is Wilson, which is Case, and the other one is CAT. The prices of Wilson Case versus CAT, the backhoes are 104 versus 111. The excavator is 97 versus 108. And of course, the mini skid steer is 67 at Case versus 92 at CAT. So what I recommend is that you all choose Case versus CAT. That way we can get the information to CAECO so that we can get our contract and our pricing. And essentially, we're doing the same thing with this equipment as we're doing with our mowing tractors. It'll be a 5-year term, and it gives us, on the 4th year, we get the reverse auction, such as the worldwide trucks, JM Wood.
So we're gonna do CAT on the skid steer and Case on everything else, right?
Well, whenever we finished discussing it, when I called back for the pricing, the mini, or the skid steer with CAT was $92,000 versus Case at $67,000. There's a $30,000 pricing difference.
All of it will be Case.
All of them be Case.
So Case is the least expensive on all the items?
Every one of them, yes.
So do we need a motion then to move forward with these purchases? Joan, are we ready for that?
Make a motion, we buy the Case equipment
Pending CAECO approval.
pending CAECO approval.
We have a motion by Master Strunk. I think I heard Master Wilson second that. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next.
Hey, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Can we go back to the Time Clock Plus just a moment? I looked over the contract, and I was looking for terminations and auto renewals and that sort of thing. So somebody needs to make a note, 90 days or probably 120 days before the expiration of this contract, Joan, whenever it takes effect. If it's not, if we don't give 90 days notice of our intent not to renew, then it automatically renews. So the court would need to look at whether or not it wants to renew this contract more than 90 days prior to today's date or whatever the effective date of this contract would be.
So we need to negotiate a renewal before the 90-day period, right?
Yes, if you don't give notice prior to 90 days before the expiration, then it automatically renews.
So, Ross, since you're the administrator on that, would you please set a reminder to bring that to court? Thank you, Martin. Okay, next then is the 2021 Health Department budget tax rate. It's just they're wanting to present this to court. Looks like the tax rate did not change. It still will be 3 cents per 100 of assessed property. So we just need to let the minutes reflect that we did receive the county public health taxing district budget for the year. Next item then will be department reports. In our road department, we have our road request, and we do have one speed limit in the 4th district, I believe, that needs to be voted on separately.
Yeah, Farmer Woodall Road, 15 miles an hour.
We would need a motion to accept that.
Motion.
Second.
A motion by Mastert, second by Turpin. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We would entertain a motion to accept the road work request as a whole.
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
by Ranshaw, second by Turpin. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Then we have a request to purchase 3,000 tons of rock.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wilson, a second by Wheeldon. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Then we need a motion to purchase 400 tons of blacktop.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wilson, a second by Ranshaw. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I assume that's just hot mix, not blacktop. Is that that typo there? It should say hot mix, Alicia. I'm sorry, 400 tons of hot mix. Excuse me. Next in, have a request from Stacy Halcom. Fire Commission has voted to surplus the fire safety trailer. Then they would like to donate that to the Pongo Fire Department. They would ask if they could surplus this trailer.
Motion.
Who did you say they were surplusing it to?
Pongo,
Pongo?
Where's that at?
it's in,
It's
Rock
Rock
Castle.
Castle County.
Rock
It's
Castle.
the old one that they replaced.
Second.
so we have a motion by Ranshaw and a second by Turpin. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Judge, while we're on public safety, I have a motion. Each year, the fire commission gives a $10,000 grant to each fire department so they can buy safety gear and other stuff for their fire department. In the last budget, which normally totals $170,000, due to a mistake in the budget, this year, that was decreased to $100,000. These fire departments need that money to buy turnout gear, boots, just safety stuff for the trucks and all that. So I want to make a motion that we increase that back to $170,000 so each fire department can get $10,000 and that money being taken out of excess money carried over from prior year.
You're asking for a budget amendment, right?
No,
No,
it's a budget transfer.
Your budget transfer, so
it's
that.
coming out of
doesn't-
the same fund.
Okay. So that doesn't require two readings, that's just one. Okay, so we have a motion. Did you get that motion, Alicia? Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion by Ranshaw and a second by Turpin. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right. Next then, we'll move to solid waste. Danny has asked me to get permission to clean a lot. This is at 1905 Lancelot Drive, per the ordinance, County Ordinance 930.1. You all got pictures of that lot?
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Wheeldon and a second by Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, it'll be our treasury report. Joan has a couple of items for us today.
Thank you. The first item I have is the second bill list for the month of July, and I want to thank everybody because it's very low, and we really need that.
Motion to accept.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The next item I have are fund transfers. Unfortunately, due to, I don't like doing fund transfers this early in a year, but unfortunately, due to COVID, it's just the way the money's coming in, guys. It's nothing to panic over. Leave that job for me. But we do have to make our funds whole, and I just need to get that money moved, and it's money that would have been moved anyhow, but I just need to go ahead and do it earlier than normal.
So this $500,000 taken out of the fire fund is based on the 27.27%.
It is based on that percentage, Mark, yes.
Motion.
Second.
A motion by Strunk and a second by Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And guys, I don't just transfer money willy-nilly. There's always a method, a reasoning behind it. It's not like I'm trying to short any fund whatsoever. I just have to make these funds right. So, we can go on a business as usual. I think that might be all I have.
Well, with no further business then, we would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion. Second.
By Wilson, a second by Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?